Oh, we are live already. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly live Q&A. How is everyone
Hi.
doing? Pam is here with us. This is going to be our member spotlight.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. So, as you know, every Wednesday we do a live Q&A, and sometimes we offer member spotlight. So, Miss Pamela Athan of Universal Printing is with us this evening. So I'm going to allow her to go ahead and introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself personally as well as professionally.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Nefertaria. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here. Um, I work at a company. It's Universal Printing. We're located in Durham. We're a full service print facility. We're a commercial printer. We have 18,000 to 20,000 square foot, and we have everything from digital printing to offset printing, and we have a full bindery. We have warehousing, inventory. We do a lot of work in the triangle with clinical trials, booklets, brochures, business cards. We pretty much can do anything from small to large companies. So we really do a whole bunch of different stuff. We could do menus and um, storefronts where you can order on-demand products. We could do digital printing. So we have a whole array of different things that we do. And we're a family-owned business. We have about 35 employees right now, currently. We actually we are moving our facility. We're getting a bigger facility in Durham, so our building is for sale right now. And we've been working through the COVID with PPP. We had to pivot a little bit in what we did, but we made it through. It's starting to pick up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How did you get into this printing business?
Well, I started when I was 16 years old because I was into advertising and design. I was taking art classes at school, and we had a printing shop in school. In my high school, we had printing. And so one of our projects in the art, I was always in the art and the design. We had to actually design something, a concept, and then we had to see it print. So we designed a business card. We had to make up a company. We had to design business cards, letterheads, memo pads, and then we had to go print them. And that was our project. When I got to the printing part of it, I mean, I still like the design and the advertising stuff, but seeing the machines, creating it, it was really a lot of fun. It was something that you actually visualize, you create, and then you see the final product. And I just really loved printing. So I did go to school for advertising and design first. And then later I transferred. I went to a 2-year school for design and advertising. And then I transferred to RIT in Rochester for print management. So I actually have a bachelor's in printing science, printing management and sciences.
Awesome. Really?
Yeah, yep. And in RIT, it was the #1 school in the country at that time for printing. So I knew I wanted to go. They had huge presses. They had the web, paper on web. And I mean, yeah, it was fabulous. So I've been in the printing field for about 32 years,
Oh
believe it or
man.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been in printing a long time, different aspects and different places, but I've been in it for a long time.
Okay. So what currently right now are y'all running any specific promotions, and has the focus of what type of promotional products that people are looking for, has it changed since COVID-19?
Yeah, I felt during COVID, we weren't doing a lot of things. We were doing basically like wall decals, floor decals, signage for the restaurants, and for wash your hands for the bathrooms and stuff like
Okay.
that. We were still doing a lot of clinical. We do a lot of pharmaceutical And the pharmaceutical didn't seem to be hit as hard as everybody else. The restaurants, hospitality, of course, we know, cruise
Mhm.
lines. The pharmaceutical was doing very well. We were still doing a lot of that, but now we're back. We're almost back to normal, and we've actually offered a lot of discount prices to people, and we're trying to really help the small businesses with certain things. So, I mean, we're doing right now, we are doing a whole thing on booklets, if they have booklets or brochures, and then business cards to match. So we have a lot of good prices. It doesn't have to be big quantities. We actually like the small quantities for our digital press. And actually, bigger quantities would go on the bigger presses. So the small to medium, they can get discounts, definitely.
So what would be like, what would you suggest when a person is just getting started in their business and they wanted to get some promotional materials? What is the minimum you suggest that they get started with? Because of course, when we go to and see those promotional books and y'all have so many things for us to put our brand and our name on that we like, oh my gosh, I can get my name on this water bottle, get it on a t-shirt, get it on a bag, I could get it in these pens, pads, the list goes on. What do you suggest minimally that somebody should get their logo, their name, their brand on just to kind of get them started when they're just starting in the business?
Yeah, I would say the first thing to do when they got their business is one, to get a logo, like design a logo, get it created and get it in all the formats, get it in Illustrator, PDF, JPEG, whatever, for the web, get it in a PNG file and pick your colors and get a brand, create your brand. Once you have your brand, you could do anything from business cards. I mean, I don't know, some people don't use business cards anymore, but I would suggest getting some business cards, some notepads, something that you can give out to a person that they will remember you. If they have a notepad, even if they write their shopping list and they
Mhm.
have your logo, your name, your address, they're going to keep that pad and they're going to write. I know I do. I mean, I keep like notebooks, pads, anything to remember your company. Or you can, if you're going to have an event, they could get flyers. They could give out, even these water bottles. I mean, you only have to buy like 25. You could buy the small ones, fill them up with chocolates or, something with your name on it and give it out to clients. So I recommend, getting your logo created, and then the sky's the limit. I mean, once you have a good logo, you can do anything, and you need your colors, and you need to have a good printer because you need your colors consistent. If I do a job
Mm,
for somebody
good
and
to
I
know.
know their colors and their brand, then probably too small to have a branding guide, but a lot of our bigger clients have branding guides once they get big, and we use that as our standard. So we create standards and then your color is consistent. I mean, a lot of the other companies can't really um, have consistent color. We're Graco, we're masters of color, which means a lot of our machines are calibrated to the proofing system, to the other presses, so we can actually get your color if we were to run it on a different press or on our digital presses. It's all calibrated to your
Mhm.
CMYK value of your logo.
Awesome, awesome. This was a
Yeah.
lot of very good information. I could ask you many, many questions, but we can save
Yes.
that for another time. But this is
Yes, definitely.
amazing, amazing. So to kind of recap, if you are just starting in your business, and if you're in a community, most of the times you are at minimum, like Miss Pam said, get your logo, get your colors, and get it in all formats. And get you a printer like Universal Printer here in Durham, North Carolina, and get them that information, and then they can print that logo on, like she said, the cups. You got the notepads. There's just a range of things that she can assist you with to get your brand and your logo out there. And you do want to be able to give somebody something. How many times people are asking for it? Do you have a pen I can borrow? Maybe not as much with COVID-19, but still,
Right, right.
if you can pass your pen, or like she said, how many times have we gotten notebooks and we keep writing in those notebooks? Because who don't need to be able to jot a note down here or there. And I definitely want to, if we have time, but I want to make sure I get an opportunity to answer your question live that you may have tonight. But I do want to get some more information about a branding guide, what that is and what that needs to, what people need to have in that. So when they are prepared to go get business cards, pads, water bottles, whatever their mind can imagine printed with their business information, that they are prepared when they come and see you at Universal Printing here in Durham. So tonight, what question can I answer for you?
Well, I do a lot of sales. I do a lot of sales. I do a lot of prospecting, and I always like to get more information. I know with your business, you help people to find their potential and to do what they need to do, to get business and to make money. And
Yes.
mine would be getting prospects. So I'm always looking for leads, always looking for new business. And a lot of times I don't have like an organization. Um, I'm not really organized and calling people back and getting more information. And I was just wondering what you provide your clients to get organized and to help them with their pipeline, building a pipeline, a lead pipeline.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that question. So we're going to take it piece by piece. So the organization of the pipeline, we're going to get into that next. But like any other business, we're always looking for prospects, leads, new business. So I always have my clients to say, okay, how have you gotten your first client? What, whether the client was paid or you were doing it for in exchange for a testimonial, I always ask, how did you get your first client? How did you get your first 3 clients? And whatever that is, we build from there. So if the person say, I got my first client because I'm on Home Advisor app or something like that. Okay, if you've gotten your client from there, then you continue to work that. You tweak your profile to be more attractive. You get testimonials up there or pictures or whatever they allow to help you stand out, so people can continue to reach you from that. So my first question would be from you, how name some top ways you've gotten leads before. And then we'll talk about how you can organize those leads.
Okay, so most of the time, how I get my leads is either through, well, I read the Triangle Business Journal, so I get a lot of leads out of that, and I see what new businesses are moving to North Carolina, or I'll um, research companies on the web. And now I actually just took a LinkedIn training course. I got my LinkedIn set up. And so now I'm getting into LinkedIn. So I've been on LinkedIn. I've had a profile. I haven't done that much looking for leads. But basically, most of my leads that I find are either through referrals or the business journals or what else did I say?
Oh, that's okay. You said Triangle Business Journal. You read that. You look for new
Yeah.
businesses.
And then
You research
researching online.
companies and LinkedIn
Yes,
companies.
researching online. Events. Before COVID, I was going to networking events.
Events. Okay, so let's deal with the Triangle Business one. That was the first one that came up. So you read that Triangle Business Journal. So take me through the process. You get the new Triangle Business Journal. You read, you see there's a new pizzeria coming to Durham. What happens next? What do you do next with that information?
Okay, so once I find that there is a new business or there is, what I'll do is I try to get in touch with the owner, or I'll look it up online and I try to research where it's going to be, what the address is. Sometimes I'll give you the address, sometimes I'll just name the business. I try to find it, and then I'll go in that area and I'll do like I'll give my card, or I'll visit it. I'll give my business card. I'll try to get the owner's name. And a lot of time it's either visiting it or trying to get the email address, calling it, cold calling.
Okay. Gotcha. And every time you give me an answer, I'm gonna recap where we are, right? So
Okay.
we check Triangle Business Journal. You find, and I'm gonna use an example. You find the new pizzeria that's coming to Durham. You research, go by whatever to get the contact information of the decision maker, i.e. the owner. Once you get the owner's information, you call them or you email them or you actually physically go and give them your card saying, hey, for
Exactly.
your printing needs, we are available. Once you make that initial contact, what have you been doing next, if anything?
So a lot of times what I'll do is once I make that initial contact with the person,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get more of their information and I'll either send them an email
Mm-hmm.
or I will call them.
Mm-hmm.
Say if it was a business,
Mm-hmm.
say it was a visit, then I'll call them
Mm-hmm.
to get in touch with them, and then I'll probably email them.
Okay. How are you currently keeping up with that information? So we got the new pizzeria. Where are you writing that information down? And is there somewhere where you're tracking? I contacted the new pizzeria. They got my business card. I made a second follow up to them via call, email, or whatever on this date. Where are you tracking that information currently?
Currently, we have a CRM system.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called because it's actually made by my company. We have our custom made CRM program and we
Okay.
put it in. It's kind of like our prospect listing. And then I
Okay.
put it in and I record
Mm-hmm.
all the dates of how I do it. And then every month I have to go through and follow up with everything that I've already done. So, and that's how I keep up with it.
Gotcha. How do you like that system currently? Because you did mention organizing your leads, we'll
It's
say.
cumbersome. It's cumbersome because it's nothing's automatic. I have to look it up. I have to see where I left off and I have to, keep following up.
So
So
it,
I can put it on my calendar. Like say if I get in touch with the gentleman with the pizzeria, I'll put it on my calendar for next month. So I have them on my calendar and I know they're coming up.
mhm.
And it's just a matter of that day sending them out something and then putting them on my calendar again for the next month. Or, if they tell me, if they give me an order and then I just have to wait for another order to come in. So I'm not really following up again for a prospect. Now I have received an order. So
So tell me, you said it was cumbersome. So let me ask you this. In that CRM system that you're currently using, does it allow you to set a reminder? So you put in pizzeria, all the contact information, initial contact, dropped off a card with the owner. Second contact was an email and whatever the email might have said. Does it let you actually notate everything that has happened with that individual?
it lets me notate everything that's in with the individual, but it has no capability of connecting with the calendar or reminding me or alerting me. The only thing that it can do is once they place an order, it can turn that prospect into a client in my computer.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so it's kind of like an accounting. It'll go right as and set them up as a client once I receive an order. And I'll have all the background information, how they evolved into a customer.
okay. So, which means that because it has limited capabilities, the current CRM, there may be a possibility for you to have to, for the clients that you're reaching out, putting them in a separate system so that you can get the reminders that you need to stay on top of it. Now, it may require you to also have to go back and input the necessary information in their CRM. But if you're looking for something that can automate or keep you the reminders, have you ever tried like a Trello board to kind of organize the leads, or even a Google Sheet where now the Google Sheet won't necessarily give you a ding of the reminder, but you could probably list all of your people, put initial contact and put in the date, put in, I need to send them this information, check it. I need to, on this date is my next follow-up. And on the Tuesdays you're following up, you can kind of see where they are in the pipeline.
See, that's what I really need. No, what I've been doing is I have my own Excel spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put them in the Excel spreadsheet. I have an Excel spreadsheet. So every time I enter them in my CRM, I'm also entering them in my Excel spreadsheet. And that's actually keeping track. So when I do a mailing
Mm-hmm.
or when I do some kind of coupon or something, I have them all in my email list
Mm-hmm.
so that I can send them stuff, which maybe I can do. I haven't really done emails. I usually do a direct mail or a postcard,
Okay.
and that's how I keep them together. And I also have the dates when I emailed, when if they got in touch with me, I put that date.
And how is your Excel spreadsheet working for you currently?
It's working good, but it's like I said, I'm entering all different kinds of information because I even have, like, once they become a client, then I'll put them on a different spreadsheet, because I'll put them on a different page, because now I'm moving into they're in a client. So I want to keep my prospects where I'm being able to send out promotions or direct mail. So I try to keep all my prospects in that email, and then my clients, once they become a client, I move them.
Okay. So do you think that if you did a Trello, are you familiar with Trello at all as a
I
project
am. I saw
management?
you do it. I actually saw you do it in our women's meeting, in our networking meeting,
Okay.
when you did your presentation, which was really, it was excellent.
Okay. So we're going to talk about possibly setting up a Trello board to help you navigate the individuals. So give me a second. I'm going to see if I can share my screen and just show the one I use for networking.
Yeah,
And
you
just
do a great job with that.
and just know that with the boards, you just can always update it and move and things of that nature. Yeah, I've cleaned mine out pretty good, but I will share the screen. Give me 1 second. Hold on once. I'm gonna try this. See if it's gonna work. We're trying new things. Okay. I don't know if it's sharing on Facebook Live or not. Okay, so this is my networking board. But for those who are not familiar with Trello is basically, just imagine a big poster board, and then these are lists. All these columns are lists. Each card, you can view that as a post note, if you will, and the cards can move across the board. So for instance, you know, Pam, you said you have individuals, they come in. So maybe you have a prospect list. And as you get prospects, you can either have a card that says, prospects, for instance, and then
Okay.
add the card. And then you can create a checklist of the individual names, John, Henry. And then as you want to move them down the pipeline, if you will, you can create John as a card. Say, okay, and move him. Say the next list was just imagine this list said I sent him the reminder, or I made contact.
Okay.
You
I
could
make cut.
move John to initial contact. After you make second contact, you can move him to a second
Wow.
contact.
Yes.
And then you can create a due date, and then you could get that notification on your to your
Calendar.
email. Yep. Or yep, calendar, email, or phone, if you set the app up on your phone. So then when you came here, you can say, oh, I gotta send John, he's on the next step, so I got a reminder, I need to do that. So that may be a way you can create a prospect card and maybe a client card, and then just create the list based on how you contact them. And then maybe the last card is they become a client. And then maybe you can create a separate board for the clients. Does that make sense? So maybe you
Yes,
have one
definitely.
board that's just about prospects, and then you take them through their journey on that board. When they end up, as they become a client, maybe you move them to a second board where they are now they're going through the journey of what happens when somebody becomes a client.
Yeah, that works for me. That's kind of new technology, which when I went to school, we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have all this um coming out, but it's so much less, it just seems like it would be so much less time, and it would have everybody at my fingertips. So
Right.
yeah.
And then you can access it if you download the app, you can access through your phone, you can get the notifications in your email, and of course you can access it from your desktop, laptop, etc. So, yes, to make it an easier visual moving them through the pipeline, then you could put them here. create a Trello board and make the list that you need, and then just all prospects could easily just go on a checklist, like I said, make a card for them and then move them as necessary. And with the cards, you can, I mean, you can add images. So if you had an image of the pizzeria or his business card, you could put his business card. I'm gonna go down to somebody that got, I
That's what
have
I
it.
would love too, because when I go to networking, oh, yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so
That is,
this person, I put their business card in there, all of their contact information, and then you could actually, either make a checklist for like initial contact and check it off, like for the person, or you can move them to a list, whichever way your brain works best to organize the Trello board so that you can see where your people are and be able to access the information no matter where you are.
yeah, that's an excellent system that you have. I get a ton of business cards that you know, that's what I do. I just write them on my Excel spreadsheet, but I'm constantly copying, pasting, it's like
Yes,
it's nice to just drag it or
absolutely. Absolutely. See, I've created my list based on networking. So did we have a connection chat? Is it held? Is it for a future time? Send them a follow-up. And you can just move them along their journey, whatever that journey looks like for you. Okay, I'm gonna connect with them on LinkedIn. Okay, I'm gonna follow them and talk to them on their social
that is
media.
awesome. Yeah.
And you can just keep moving them to whatever. If I have referrals, I address the referrals, or if people ask me, so it's you organize it based on how you think and what works, but you have a lot of functionality utilizing Trello, especially from a visual standpoint and from a fact of moving the cards where you need them to be moved.
Yeah, that is really a great system. So, I mean, how long does it take you to set something up like this? Do you
Well,
keep doing it all throughout as you just keep thinking of different things that you need to put in there? Like I see you have it all scheduled,
yeah, so
connection chat held.
yeah, so it's just for me, what I do is I start off with initial board based on how I want it to happen. Then if I see, okay, I can tweak this, I'll tweak it. This works, this didn't work. Let me tweak this, let me, whatever. My goal with my networking, if I meet somebody within 30 days of meeting them, my goals is to have had a connection chat with them, to have followed them on all their social media forms, went and comment on a couple of their things, shared or watched a couple of their videos, stuff like that, to really show support within the first moments or first 30 days that I meet them. After we have an initial connection chat, then they'll get a reminder in 45 days to say, hey, I'm just checking in. It's been a while since we talked. Let's get on another call and just kind of see what each other has going on. Just to kind of also continue to maintain the relationship.
Yeah, that's what I need to get. I need it more automatic. That's what I really need to do.
Yes. So
Yeah,
yeah. So
less time consuming.
definitely set it up so it triggers for you like you need it to trigger. Okay.
Yeah,
It,
thank you.
yes, I'm gonna stop sharing now. So, do you feel that you are clear on how to organize, or at least a way to organize your leads and prospects?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try the Trello board and I'm gonna set it up. And definitely you helped me out a lot. I mean, I've seen you present this Trello board and we also did my vision board, if you
Yes,
remember.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah, you're good with all motivation and building businesses. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like to ask you these questions.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing more information with us about how to prepare, our promotional materials and things that we need to have ready when we are starting our business, and things that we need to have to be able to pass out and get our brand out there to as many people as possible. But before you go, I got one final question. Share
okay.
with us, what do you enjoy most about this community?
Okay, why I love the community is I just like building a support system, you know, knowing people, networking with people, referring them, supporting everybody, and just getting a pipeline just within the community. I've gotten so many different jobs from people in the community, and I try to refer as many people as I can so that our community grows. And there's nothing better than local business to support our local business. So I am definitely one for the community. And thank you so much for this Facebook page and this streaming. So I enjoyed our visit.
You're so welcome. As always, it's been my honor to serve. For any
Yes.
of your promotional materials that you need,
Anything.
Universal Printing here in Durham, you can reach Pam. Where can they reach you out online, or how can they get in contact with you if they have more questions, or and they're ready to buy their business cards, their pens, their notebooks? How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, I'll put my chat. Should I put my email in the chat? I'm at Universal Printing in Highway 54 in Durham. You can email me. You could go to the website. It's www.universalprinting.com, and you could find me and you can email me from there. I'm on the website. So, and we're a
Absolutely.
family company, and I'll help you with anything that you need. So just reach out and say, Pam, help.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So www.universalprinting.com, correct?
That's
And
right.
go to that website, fill out their contact information, and let them know that you want Pam's help. That's your smoke signal. Pam's help.
Help
Thank you.
me. Yeah,
That's
no problem.
Thank you so much for joining me
You're
this evening.
welcome.
Thank you for sharing all of those nuggets and how people can get their business and brand out there. I am also, as always, honored to have helped you get clear on how you can get those leads and get them organized so you can confidently continue to grow your business and get more business for Universal Printing and help small and local businesses get their brand out there. So hold on tight. Guys, y'all can catch me here next week for our weekly live Q&A. And if you want an opportunity to be a member spotlight, just comment below this video with member, and the executive support squad would reach out to you. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.